What's up, everybody? This is James and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Thanks for coming back and tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe down below the video. Now, we did have some comments on our starter video. You know, guess what? It's an introduction video. It wasn't that long, but we didn't go into detail as to what we do. We sell shrimp online. We have all different species from around the world, and you can check out our prices and our price packs at www.bluedogaquatics.org. I'm the owner of Blue Dog Aquatics, but there's someone behind the scenes that's a good friend and an employee of Blue Dog Aquatics that does a whole lot of work, but he's always behind the camera and behind the scenes. So I want to introduce him because you're going to start seeing him in upcoming videos. So here he is, Mr. Pat Baker.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Pat. I'm here with James. We're shooting some video footage for our current YouTube video. I've been working with James for a little over a year now. I helped him get this thing going from the ground up. I remember it feels just like yesterday we were putting in the studs for all these tank stands and getting everything painted, all the tanks in. But through working with him, I can say I've learned a lot, and I definitely love Blue Dog Aquatics just as much as he does. So I've been working with a arrival video for this current video. It's going to go over everything from tank parameters, how to properly acclimate them to a new tank, as well as all the precautions you should take when receiving a shipment of shrimp. So your tank parameters are going to be important for the fact that each shrimp has a different type of parameters that it likes to live in. So certain shrimp like higher GH, certain shrimp like higher KH. It all depends on the species. But what we'll be going over is what we keep them in and how successful it has been for us, as well as these are kind of ballpark numbers for you guys to shoot for when you go to set up tanks of your own for similar species. You never want to just drop them in the tank. Just like any other freshwater or saltwater even species, it will cause so much shock to them, be it because of the temperature change or your TDS, your different level of TDS, different levels of hardness in your water, be it general hardness or carbonate hardness. Those all will play an effect on how that shrimp takes to the tank. So the safest way to do it, in my opinion, is drip acclimating. I always recommend cycling a tank for 3 to 4 weeks. It's just the safest bet to ensure that your nitrate cycle has fully completed. Essentially, if you do like a week, then a couple days after that, you can hit a ammonia spike, which your tank will cloud up. You'll be like, what the heck's going on? And if you had anything in there, it's most likely going to be dead. So you want to push that as far away from when that cycling happens. That way you can ensure that whatever livestock you put in there will survive.
Alright guys, well, we just got another shipment of shrimp in. We're going to open up the box here. Now if you use a razor blade, be very careful. That way you don't go all the way through, because different people package them differently, and you don't want to go through and hit the bags of shrimp because then you'll pop them. So you want to be very delicate when you open it. Alright, so we got the first flap open there. Put that blade away. These are packaged really good. They got extra insulation, keep them nice and warm on these chillier days. Let's pull out what we got here. First up, we have the PRLS grades that just came in. These guys look really good. I'm not seeing any dead. I recommend floating because when they get shipped overnight, the water temperature, you can actually feel the bag. The water is actually cold inside of the bag. And if you introduce those guys into the tank, they're going to literally go into shock and die. And so what we do is we float for about 30 minutes. That way the temperature of the water in the bag acclimates to the temperature of the water of the tank. And then we'll bring them over after they've floated for 30 minutes and we'll open them up and then we'll drip acclimate, and we'll go into drip acclimating here in a little bit. The Ultra Golds, these guys look really cool. These guys are a new line for us, so I'm excited to check them out. We got some more PRLs. These guys look awesome. Next bag here is another bag of Ultra Golds. Looks like somebody actually molted in transit, so that's kind of crazy. We might have a dead from that, and it looks like we do. I can kind of see them in the bag. If they molt, they become very vulnerable, and with the shipment, it's a hard process for them to survive through. Now these guys right here are one that I've been looking forward to. These are another new line. These are Black Rileys. So very excited to get into them. And then last but not least, we have Blue Bolt S grades. And it's kind of hard to see them because there's a piece of foam in there and they're all in the middle of it. So make sure that there's nobody else. We do have a little baggie of food that came with it. We didn't order it, but it was just a bonus. So that's everybody. All right guys, you can see that we got everybody floated here. These are going to be the Ultra Gold tanks. We have the Black Rileys over here floating in their new setup. Now we'll come around to the other side over here. We have the PRLs, both bags, sitting in their setup. We have the Blue Bolt S grades that are floating in their setup right there. So we'll set a timer, give them about 30 minutes, and we'll see you then.
Alright, so we're here at the workstation. We're going to go ahead and start unbagging the Black Rileys. This is a new line of shrimp that we're starting to carry here at Blue Dog Aquatics. Make sure to check out the link down in the description so you can see our price packaging for these guys specifically. So we'll go ahead and start tearing into the bag here, just using a razor blade to cut it open. We'll get the first bag open. Then we can pull this bag out. Slowly flip it over, that way everybody that doesn't get trapped up top. I'll just cut this bag. There we go. And we will remove the mesh. That way it doesn't get in the shot for our macro shots. And always do a smell test. That way you can smell any ammonia in the bag. If you smell ammonia, that means most likely there's a dead shrimp in there, and you'll have to get that out. Okay, smells nice and clean, so it should be good to get these guys in the specimen container. So start dumping a little slowly, real slow, and dump them all. Awesome. Always check your bag to make sure that you didn't leave any behind. We are good. So we'll go ahead and start taking some macros of those guys. Alright guys, so we're here at the tank for the Black Rileys. We have a bucket, an air line, and we're going to go ahead and start the drip acclimation process. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this line, tie a knot in it, like so, put one end in the tank, one end in the bucket, and then slowly tighten it up until you start getting drips. And then go a little bit tighter and tighter, and you'll get consistent drip about 1 every 2 seconds. That'll be perfect for drip acclimating. So I'll go ahead and get these guys in the bucket. And they are in. Check for anyone in here. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to get the rest of those eggs out though, because you never know, you could get lucky. So with that being good, we can go ahead and start this drip. So we will pull the lid forward to create a little bit of a pinch on the line. That way it stays in the tank. Maybe. There we go. we'll go ahead and come down here, tighten this up a little bit more, give it a suck. Now as the water's starting to come out, tighten it. Still a little too fast. A little tighter. A little tighter. There we go. So we will be drip acclimating these guys for about 45 minutes. That's going to allow them to have a gradual increase or decrease of certain parameters, which won't stress them out as much, and they'll be able to have a more likelihood of surviving as opposed to just dumping them straight in the water. So we'll let these guys go for 45 minutes. Alright guys, we're back here at the workstation with the Ultra Gold Shrimp. We're going to go ahead and be taking these guys out of the bag, putting them in specimen containers. That way we can get a couple nice macro shots of them. The Ultra Golds are new shrimp that we're carrying on our website, so definitely drop by and check them out. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these guys opened up, get them out of the bags. This one. Yeah. Okay, I did hit the bag a little bit, so we're just going to cut it from this way instead. So let's go ahead and slice into it. And always remember to give it a smell test. Whew. Okay, that one is a little stinky, so I guarantee we're probably going to have a dead one in here. So let's go ahead and remove this green mesh. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get them into the specimen container. Then we can further analyze what's going on here. Okay. That appears to be all of them. So we're good to check these bags. We're going to check for deads real quick because of the smell. So we'll go ahead and pull them out. Let me get a rag here. Alright, and there is one dead right here. Alright. So, we'll go ahead and cut to getting some macro shots of these real quick. Alright guys, so we are here at the Ultra Gold tank. We are going to be starting the drip acclimation process for these guys. So, we have our specimen container here in the bucket. We're going to go ahead and dump it in. Make sure everybody's out. Get some of those eggs out. Set this right here. And we'll take our other container of them, because we have two bags. Dump these guys in. No stragglers. Looks good to me. Okay, so now we have our airline hose here. We're going to get our knot a little bit tighter, just right about there. And we'll put this end. Of course, the lid's going to be a little difficult. Put this end in the tank. Give this guy a little suction. Once the water starts flowing, tighten it up a little bit more. A little more. And that's about the consistency that you're going to want for drip acclimating right there. So we can just set this guy here. The water will run down the side, but that's okay as long as it reaches the water. It'll be fine. So we'll let these guys acclimate for about 45 minutes. Give them enough time to gradually have the parameters of both waters change so they can adapt to this water a lot easier. See you guys in 45 minutes. These guys have been drip acclimating for about 45 minutes, so they should be safe to move over into the aquarium. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. Remove the drip line. And we're going to be dumping this bucket through a net into another bucket. That way we're removing any contaminated water. Since we did have a couple DOAs with this specific shrimp, we definitely want to get all water out. Alright, so now here at the bucket, we're just going to make sure everyone's in the water, which they are. Go ahead and give it a dump. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to be adding these guys into the tank. Just get a nice shot of them all going in here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And I think that's everyone. Alright, so here we got our black Rileys. We're going to go ahead and drop these guys into the net. So they pretty much all got caught up in that right up there. Alright guys, I'd like to thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe to Blue Dog Aquatics. If you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment down below. We also have a Facebook and Instagram page that you can follow at Blue Dog Aquatics. Blue Dog Aquatics is also going to be on the road to Orlando, Florida this year coming up for Aquashella. Huge event. First event we've been to, so make sure to stay tuned to see how we're preparing for that. Stay tuned for further videos in regards to different shrimp species, setting up tanks and cycling them properly, as well as seeing some new arrivals that we could be having in. So the question still stands, your tank or mine?